Thrill Me.
This show is part of the Thrill Me podcast network. Experience more on Facebook and YouTube.
Core memory unlocked.
Horror.
15 years ago, I was told there was nothing left.
Better hurry up. Live or die. Make your choice.
A ver, hijo de la chingada, deja de estar viendo memes, pendejo.
¡A la verga, me vale verga, perro! ¡Y cállate a la verga, cállate!
Yes.
It's been a bit since I've seen that beautiful bean footage.
Oh, that was so fun to watch again. I got so excited for Spanish Chucky there.
It's the good stuff. It's the good stuff, and this is the good stuff. Hi, welcome to Core Memory Unlocked Horror. I am Zach. That is wonderful.
Hi, you doing?
We're doing great because this is the Patreon exclusive. Patreon.com throwmepodnet. If you want to join this wonderful program where we're just going to start dropping these things. We gave a couple for free, but now you got to get behind that paywall if you want this, baby, and you are behind said paywall.
Yeah, I was going to say, if they're hearing this, aren't they already there?
Yeah, but there's going to be a point where I'm going to put this out for free because I didn't record in a week.
That's right. Good point.
Yeah,
Holidays.
Great point. Holidays. There it is. But yeah, so we are getting into the festive spirit on the regular Core Memory Unlocked. We've done Scrooged, which I would consider almost a comedy horror. And Wonderful came with the idea for Christmas of doing Gremlins. And for me, what I love about that is because we could do something recent like Krampus or something like that. But I think at least how I've perceived things in recent year, I think Gremlins is kind of slept on as a Christmas movie.
It honestly is. Like, I got into a whole debate because I saw an article that was doing the typical, like, Die Hard isn't a Christmas film, and neither are these, based on this parameter. And the parameter that they put out was something really dumb, like, if you watch it at any other point of time of the year, do you feel weird that you're watching the film because it's Christmas? And then some other thing of like, if you put the setting of the film at any other point of time, like, is Christmas central to it? Like, kind of what they try to argue against Die Hard of, well, Christmas isn't central to it, but it still collapses in on itself of he's at a Christmas party.
Right.
Like, and they're robbing
everything deals. It's like Batman and Batman Returns, where
they put that on there too.
They're lighting the tree.
Yeah.
The lighting of the tree is a big part of that whole movie.
Which makes it weird to watch at other times. But outside of Die Hard, because they were just like, Die Hard isn't on this list. It's not like one of those, like, it's not a Christmas film because of these reasons. And Gremlins was number one for their examples of that's not a Christmas movie as well, which I find to be bullcrap. Because it is, out of all the conversations, it is the most definitive, like, I can't watch this movie any other time of the year because it really does feel weird watching the film because it is so smacking me over the head Christmas from the open to the end.
Right. No, I agree with you. I do think it is Christmas all the way through the lights, through getting Christmas presents, because the main point is Mogwai is going to be the Christmas present for Billy. So if it's not Christmas, then that never happens.
Exactly.
And
it wasn't for
also,
birthday. It wasn't for Valentine's Day. It wasn't for St. Patrick's Day.
And also, we don't get the most depressing story at the end of the movie about how Santa met his demise. And we will get into that. We'll get into that
Santa
in a little bit.
Died in this film.
He did. He died for our
You can't
sins.
tell me I can watch this on the 4th of July and be like, ooh. Well, there's 100%. A reason I don't watch it in June on its release date the same day as Ghostbusters. There's a reason I don't.
Same.
Because it's Christmas to me. It's too Christmassy to me. It is a Christmas horror film. And since we're doing the core memory thing, this was one that I grew up on, and I love this freaking movie. So I'm very excited to get into this and do the whole deep dive into this one.
Yeah, I think my younger year, I definitely loved this movie. And we'll get into that conversation going forward. But in case, if you are one of the few that have not seen Gremlins, let's go ahead and watch the original trailer.
This kids film, all for the family that celebrates
the Steven Spielberg presents. Yeah. I believe Richard Donner had something to do it. Yeah. Joe Dante did direct this wonderful bean footage. So let's watch this trailer.
And the director of Harry Potter 1 and 2 wrote it. That's right, Chris Columbus.
Steven Spielberg presents Gremlins.
It's so cute.
Billy Pelser has a nice home.
Oh, what a... Oh, wow. Drop that sword.
Is that you?
Yeah, Mom, it's me.
A nice job.
Come on, fix that,
nice girl.
If you're not doing anything this Thursday,
not in fast times.
To go out on a date with me.
Thinking about you, Billy.
And loving parents who are about to give him.
You're gonna like this. No, don't shake it. We're gonna have to open it now. Won't wait.
She wrapped her damn cat again.
Gift he ever got.
What is it?
It's your new pet.
Come on, Barney, be a good dog. My dad gave it to me.
Corey, baby.
Things to keep in mind. If you expose it to the light, you may hurt it. If you get it wet, it will multiply.
All that from water? They got wet?
Yeah, plain water.
And most important, no matter how much they beg, never let them eat after midnight. Because when they do, they change.
Play that.
They become clever. Mischievous.
What's going on here?
And dangerous.
Gremlins, huh? Little monsters.
Right.
Hundreds of them.
Well, I don't know, maybe thousands.
They've been here too. Billy, what are these things? Where do they come from?
Look, I know it sounds crazy, I know. But in a few hours, you're gonna have a major disaster on your hands.
Gremlins, directed by Joe Dante. They'll be expecting you.
That's right. Jerry Goldsmith did do the
Good evening.
Hey, get out of here. Get out of here, poor things. We'll see it when we can. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Not all of us live in LA or New York.
That's how I feel. I keep trying to see it at Cinemark. You won't let me. All right. So first things first about that trailer, just going off the trailer's sake, very impressed they didn't show the gremlin.
Very restrained. Very restrained.
Just the back of the head at one point and a claw throwing the apple. But they did a really good job of being like, ooh, what is this creature? Like, they give you a little gizmo, which is fine. I'm okay with a little giz. But absolutely impressed with that. I'm impressed that they didn't show the creature. They were like, you got to pay to get that.
I was, two things, because I had never seen the trailer until this moment.
No.
Never.
Right.
Very impressed, like you said, by the restraint. And the fact that it really, honestly, I can't figure out the tone of it. So I understand why parents were totally thrown for a loop when this thing swerves so hard into horror. And because they're like, it's just
disgusting,
like even the
horror.
Yeah. Yes, disgusting. Like
when Stripe dies at the end of this movie, spoilers for the future, it is disgusting when he's in that fountain.
It's Indiana Jones cranked up to 11.
100%. Same year, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I believe so. I think 84. Yeah,
84. Yeah, good year of film, man.
Yeah.
It's so I get it because all I ever heard from my mom growing up was how it was not sold as a horror film and it was sold as a bring your family to this film, and families did, and she did, and she was absolutely taken aback by what was happening with
Right.
2 kids with
Right.
her, you know, like
Yeah. Well, in fairness, the trailer does kind of lend itself, and just 2 years previous, it feels like E.T. And if
It
the
does.
director of E.T. is presenting this movie of mischievous, just little creatures, no one would think they were going into a horror movie.
no, because that cell is like, oh, just some light could hurt them. Like, don't feed them after midnight. If they get wet, like they're just they turn into little like
They become assholes.
Yeah, they become exactly the nice way of
Right.
saying they become assholes without telling you like, oh no, they become murderous fucking assholes. Like,
Yeah.
they're gonna kill like an entire town.
Right. So you were saying like you grew up on this. So once you get past, your mom took it to your theater and was like, "What the hell did I just do?" Do you get to watch it from there on out?
So what's funny is it was my older brothers that she took to the theater for the what the hell, and then me as a child got the, well, we've let him watch
guess.
Beetlejuice, we've let him watch people. You know, when you're the third,
Yeah.
I joke that being the third, and you know, you are a parent. I joke that the 2 oldest, they went through hell for me to just essentially get the first one
pass.
survived, the second one survived.
Right.
Just don't make me scream your name when the lights come on, like when the street lights come on. Like,
Right.
have your ass home. So I essentially got to, that's why like I was desensitized so young and got to go see like Scream in the theaters in 1996. I'm like 8. I shouldn't be there, but I'm there. And then I'm there the next year for Scream 2. I shouldn't be there, but I have begun a trilogy marathon watch of horror films in theaters. So
Right.
like it essentially was just thrown to me of like, he'll like this. It's I think it was because of the Home Alone thing that my mom was like, here's another kind of like wacky Christmas film that you'll enjoy.
Right.
And I did. I loved it. And so that goes to show you as well. My mom can sit there and say, like, I can't believe that Papa Wonderful took you to see Scream, but Mama Wonderful was throwing fucking Beetlejuice and
Right.
Gremlins on for me.
Yeah, but in fairness, they are 2 like different style of horrors. 2 are comedy horrors that are PG-13 at best, while another is a rated R, and we gotta grow like a fish.
PG-13 hasn't happened.
But yeah. Oh, that's because of this year, Steven Spielberg. That's right.
Steven Spielberg, yeah, he's gonna fuck up again.
So as a parent, and I will bring this into light as well, I do feel, because you are the later of your brothers, your mom got desensitized to the movie herself. True. Because I'm sure when she took them, they were like, "Ooh, it's on video. I want to watch it. Ooh, it's on HBO. I want to watch it." That's so true. It's now past time where it's just like, oh yeah, it's just Gremlins. What are we doing?
Oh yeah, that's right. You know, it could. You know, this is my favorite part where the mom fights back and cooks the gremlin. Like, wait, what? You like the moment where the gremlin explodes? Like,
oh yeah, 100%. Right in that microwave.
Like, you wanted to turn Scream off when Grandma was watching it before fucking Casey got it.
Right. Well, this is the difference. We're getting revenge. Yeah. We're getting revenge. It's not like this Ghostface has many Ghostface and we're killing them. We're killing the bad guys the entire movie.
Exactly. There you go.
For me, it's definitely a video watch, and being a little older than you, I do feel like I got to see this when I was like 5 or 6. And for a while it was a steady watch, but it's one of those movies that I feel had more lore or legend than actual watching, because in the past, like, I feel like I've watched it more because of podcasting and stuff like that than I actually watched it just to enjoy it. And there's a couple of caveats about that, and we'll get into it as we go through the story. But the basic plot of this is there's this family, there's this town, and the town is in Hill Valley. No matter how much they don't want to tell you it's Hill Valley, it's Hill Valley Universal.
No.
Yeah. Same set, baby. Same set.
No, because there's snow in this one.
You're right. Spring's next year, baby. So Billy's working at a bank. It's a small town. You get a lovely cast of characters. Like you get the mean old bitch who just wants everybody out of their homes. You
The
get
Wicked Witch of Hill Valley.
yeah. You get
not
the
Hill Valley.
you get the drunken guy who should probably be in every Friday the 13th movie, but somehow
Dick Miller.
doesn't. Yeah,
Dick Miller.
Dick Miller's never in a Friday the 13th.
Oh,
that shocks
fucking-
the shit out of me.
Dude is like a fucking horror legend, and he was never in a Friday the 13th film.
What are we even doing?
Wow, that sucks.
Yeah. But like you get Phoebe Kate. Is it Phoebe Kate?
Phoebe Katz? Kate's?
Phoebe Katz, Kate's, who gives a shit?
Married
It's Phoebe.
to Kevin Kline.
That's right, it is Kevin Kline.
Yeah.
I don't even understand that. Would love to dive deep into that.
I don't. I will never. I'll know that
Is
forever
he-
because I'll never understand it because she retired from acting like when they got married,
Right.
and not because like he forced like it wasn't like a.
She was just like, I'm good. I'm
Yeah,
good.
she was just like, I'm just done.
I'm
And I was
stay-at-home
like,
mom.
so you married Kevin Kline to live off of Kevin Kline's money? Like,
Yeah.
you were bigger than Kevin Kline.
Like, is he the college guy that she was dating in Fast Times? Is that what this is?
I think so. Which I'm desperate for. Sorry to jump way ahead.
Yeah.
I am desperate though because I swear they keep saying Gremlins 3 is going to happen, and if it does, she has to come out
has
of
to be in
retirement.
it.
That's
That's interesting.
I need another depressing story about.
Oh yeah, she does one in two, doesn't she? Okay, well, I don't know what the two is, but
I forget too,
okay.
but it's like something with like office and like buildings, something stupid where it's like, and they rioted in the buildings and like 200 people died.
It's so fucking
great.
random. Okay, you know, this doesn't have to go story by story beat. Yes, Billy gets a Mogwai. The Mogwai accidentally multiplies. Them Mogwais become gremlins because they've been mischievous, and then they run the fucking town rampant, killing mother effers every single day of the week, and it keeps getting funnier. And then they fight them, kill them viciously throughout the entirety of the movie. That is the plot of Gremlins. Now we're just going to talk stuff that we just need to get off our chest.
Okay.
Let's talk Phoebe's fucking story about dad coming down the chimney and being breaking his neck and dying.
And then smelling it.
And what
They smelled it for days. Remember? And then the chimney people had to come and knock.
Oh, I could tell while she was looking at that fireplace. The issue that I had with that after this watch, and I think you need it, especially because of part 2 now, thinking of it. What a random fucking thing to just bring into this movie. This movie's horror comedy, and it was like, I gotta tell you about him.
I mean, let's take this a little darker. Let me tell you how my dad died, and I learned Santa wasn't real. So I think what will never be topped for me is I got to see this as part of like when Regal they're doing it now when
the Christmas movies.
Yeah, this one was playing, and it was like
Right.
the first year when I was living by James Madison, so I had nothing to do. Went to go see it on a Saturday afternoon, and I played the game of how many millennials or Gen Xers, are going to come in with kids or grandkids to see this film, and that was pretty much more than half the audience was like,
oh wow.
People bringing their kids of like, here's a movie from my childhood. And at that moment of the movie, though, I just was sitting there in the back, like, what, like doing that, like, watch of like, which parent is about to freak the fuck out because they now remember that, oh, their 7-year-old is about to hear Santa ain't real because daddy died in the chimney.
Right. Oh, 100%.
And there was one person that did do the,
Jesus
like,
Christ.
Like kind of
it was the
reaction in
TikTok.
there.
It was TikTok this weekend, Jesus Christ. And it was like, my dad fell down the chimney, died. Dad's not real. Jesus Christ. Like,
Oh my
that's
God,
what that was.
There's the TikTok.
Yeah, no, that story threw me for a loop, but it kind of fits in the movie when you realize what you're watching.
And especially at that point of the film too, because we've already gotten we've gotten so much at that point.
We got the old lady who keeps trying to kill the dogs. Like, she's gone up that chair through the fucking skyline. She's out.
The cops are dead. Mom was attacked.
Mom's already attacked. By the way, really quickly, talking about Billy's family, because this movie has a good, rich family. Like, so you can tell this family cares about each other. Like, Billy's living at home and he's trying to help as much as he can. The dad's out being whatever he is, builds the craziest fucking machines. And I actually got a new thing today while watching it that I've never thought of before, and it has to be it. When Billy comes home to the kitchen and he asks Mom, what can I help you with? Why are you crying? Oh, I'm just watching this TV or whatever. He goes, can I help? And she's like, yeah, break the eggs. And he goes to this fucking concoction of a machine that has eggs already placed, falls down, fucking breaks or whatever, and fucking like just going everywhere. And the mom looks back and looks and goes, your father's machines, they work for a couple of weeks and then... And the first thing I thought was, he has made a sex toy that worked. And she was getting it. She was getting off from it. And then a couple of weeks later, something fucking happened that has horrifically gone wrong. And I am feeling her pain just by her reaction of looking at said machine and going, and it's ironic because here's the thing, it's a cockhead, it's a chicken head going down and breaking these eggs.
Where did you get any of that?
Joe Dante told me about this at Nightmare Weekend back in October. Listen, the cockhead was going down breaking eggs, and I'm telling you, this lady had a bad experience.
We put It's a Wonderful Life in there as a metaphor for cockheads going down.
And just breaking the eggs, man. I'm telling you, she has something going wrong down there, and I feel for her. So that was the thing that I grabbed this watch.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say... Oh, I noticed because I pointed it out, and I told Brooke too to pay attention to it because she was watching it with me. She likes it. She likes the film.
Okay.
So she likes watching that. That's one of the ones for the holiday season where we've done so many.
I think I did it last year or the year before I did it, and it's because the kid loves horror, and I'm like, this is that gateway. This is a gateway horror. Perfect.
It's perfect. But I thought you were going to talk about, because I pointed it out to her, when the dad is constantly trying to call home, you see the time machine in the background take off and vanish.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay, so when he's on the payphones and he's sitting there, like the first time that they cut to him.
Yeah,
and he's calling. There's somebody in the background that has that like invention is clearly a time machine, and then they cut away, and then when they cut back, he's gone. The guy, the fucking, and there's just smoke in the area behind him. So, like, seriously,
is that?
Look it up. There's a time machine.
Okay, I gotta watch that.
That is such a because.
Wow.
Every time I watch this film, I laugh even more because truly, this film.
Is that a gateway to Back to the Future?
I think it is, because
is that Doc Brown?
This film is littered with so many like just stupid little things that I'm like, this is absolutely connected to every one of Spielberg's pictures.
Yeah, I mean it has a bunch of
Indiana Jones.
Yep. Yeah, because the radio guy's thing is the logo.
Clearly a mimic.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, right?
Yeah,
right.
It's a ripoff of Indy, so clearly that's somebody that knows Indy exists and mimicked his radio personality off of that.
Right.
Fucking time machine for Back to the Future. Like, it's Hill Valley. It's Gremlins, little creatures. There's your ET connection. It's literally, we just didn't have somebody say, you're going to need a bigger tree.
Right. I love.
Somebody said that.
We're gonna need a bigger tree. That would have been great. No, it's definitely that, because this is during the age that Spielberg was still in his horror element. Like, I mean,
Still
just
having
a couple
fun.
of
He
years-
didn't. He didn't feel the need
It
to
wasn't-
go off and make his heritage.
Fucking, it wasn't Schindler's List every single fucking other year, or maybe a war film. Either of those two. Those are what he does now. But like, again, it goes back to Temple of Doom's coming out. You shut up. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, my bad. I got a notification about something. Whatever.
Say anything, man.
Well, it said
When
Thrill
you
Me
read.
Podcast Network, and I was like, what did I do? No. So Temple of Doom's about to come out, which is the most horrific one of the Indiana Jones series. 2 years ago, he was a executive producer or producer, whatever, but practically the director of Poltergeist. So, like,
And nobody
he did
confirmed
Jaws.
that, all right? Stop.
Shut up, Toby Hooper, or whatever the fuck your name is. But it was still that fun Spielberg stuff, and this movie is just full of fun. The other thing that I will enjoy no matter what, and you can tell they had fun doing it, because the creatures of this movie, Jim Henson do the creatures for this?
I think it was Henson, yeah.
They're fucking wonderful because they all feel like they've come to life. It's one of those things where it's like you can tell they did such a good job of the animatronics and the puppeteering that they do feel like real creatures. The bar scene where all the gremlins are inside there this is the most fun, and you can tell because normally if this movie was shot now, that entire scene would have been a minute and a half. I feel like they hung on the bar scene for like a good 4 minutes because they had so much fun, and I think all that predicates of why we get Gremlins 2, because they were like, let's just do that as a whole movie.
Oh god, yeah. Gremlins 2 is 100% this is a film where if anybody said, show me a movie where practical effects and all of that trumps anything CGI, I'll go, here, Gremlins. And the bar scene alone, like you just said, 100%, because they linger on that because that whole sequence is shot so well and mapped out and choreographed so perfectly, from the little flasher one to the jazz lounge to the poker game to the fucking
the fucking burglar in the ski mask trying to get
it is comedic genius.
Yeah.
It's a callback to everything. It is so well done.
It's so good.
Even the movie theater sequence, the hi
ho,
they're watching Snow White and stuff.
Right.
And they love it.
And they're fucking losing their mind throwing popcorn.
Gizmo in the background singing along as well.
Oh yeah, and Gizmo, we're not even giving the credit to Gizmo. My favorite part about Gizmo, which plays in this movie and the next,
Howie
is
Mandel.
Yes. Oh, that's right. Howie Mandel does play his voice. That's right.
That gives me another movie, by the way, that we should do.
Little
Just gonna throw it
Monsters?
out there. Yeah, buddy. I
We'll
have
get
it on
there.
DVD.
We'll get there. I'm okay if we start with that because that is definitely a core memory.
Yeah, it is memory unlocked.
But what I love about it, he's a fucking filmaholic. Like, he loves watching film and just like studying it and bringing it into his real life, which I feel is every kid's thing. They watch it, they play it. And Gizmo was able to do that through this movie where like he's just driving that car, going everywhere, just dreaming that fucking scene. I love it.
I love Gizmo is so good, but I will say that because of Gizmo, it's why I never had a Furby.
Ooh, interesting.
Because the moment Furbies came about, like I was at that when Furbies hit the market. It probably wasn't a thing for you because you're a little older than me, but it was like right at that time for kids my age.
Yeah.
Like everybody was like, "I want a Furby," and I, before my mom even said it, I told Mama Wonderful, I don't want a Furby, and both of us knew exactly why. It looked too much like Gizmo, and I didn't need that fucking thing coming to life in the middle of the night and killing me. And then all those stories started coming out where people that had them, I don't know if where they're like, yeah, it just started like speaking at like 1 a.m. and would like wake up and like start talking. And I'm like, I saw Gremlins, bitches.
I know.
This is why I don't trust technology.
Burn it alive.
Terminator. I don't trust AI for that same reason.
That's right. We're talking to you, Gigapets. But yeah, no, like, so, and I said this earlier while watching it today. I was like, you know what? I enjoy this movie still. It's kind of dropped for me and maybe stays in this vein of like, yeah, I'll watch it maybe in a few years to get that enjoyment viewing out of it. But for me, it's weird. Through my 20s, maybe even 30s, I always thought that I did not like Gremlins 2. And I will say this, it took me a year, 2 years, 3 years ago.
Damn right.
I watched Gremlins. I watched it. And while watching this one, as much as I do enjoy the movie, I'm not saying it's bad. That's not at all what I'm saying.
I know
but what I'm saying is, I kind of fucking feel like Gremlins 2 is better. And I think it's because they leaned into the comedy a little bit more, where they saved the horror with that fucking big giant spider gremlin. Get the fuck out of here. Still haunts my nightmares.
I know this is for Gremlins 1, but I would argue that along with you, that Gremlins 2 balances out as more of a comedy.
Right.
And balances out the horror aspect of it, where this one is just, I don't want to say it's totally all over the place, but it is definitely more of a horror film and a dark comedy, where the other one is like meta before meta was cool.
And
self-aware. It was fucking Looney Tunes. Like, yes. I know I joked when we did, Freddy's Dead, like, oh, it's Looney Tunes. Gremlins 2 is more the well-done Looney Tunes live action. Like,
okay.
You have the whole chef scene. You have all of that shit.
So this is how I can kind of put it in my own, like, phrasing. If Gremlins 2 was directed by Tim Burton, Gremlins 1 is Christopher Nolan's baby. Where it's like, it's that story, and then you get cartoony in that second one. Like, we're taking this grounded story, which had some fucking fantastical elements, and then we just make it fantastical completely. Because, and it didn't hit me until we talked about Phoebe's story. Because in the first one, that shit plays so dark, it makes you say, what the fuck?
Yep.
Where in part 2, when it comes back, not only is it a callback, it fits the movie, where you're just like, oh my God, not again.
Yeah. You're like, she's got another one?
Right. Exactly.
This woman's trauma.
So much trauma in this girl's life.
What's next? That's why I need part 3. I need to know what other trauma she's experienced.
So what would you do? What would you do in part 3? If you could have a dream 3, what would it be?
I've never really, like, this isn't one of those franchises where I guess I played around with that idea, but in the vein of kind of the way that they're all done, you need your OG cast back.
Yes.
But maybe something along the lines of, like his kids, like Phoebe and him, they got together, they had the kids, they did end up together. And something along the lines of like, something happens where they need to take Gizmo in. Because there's got to be, and I know, I haven't watched the show, but like, I would try and create a bigger world. Yeah, right. I would just try to create a bigger world of something happened with, obviously the grandpa is long past, I'm sure at this point, but something has happened with the grandson that originally sold the Mogwai. Mogwai. Something's happened with him where he had to get Gizmo to somebody that he could trust because of some type of evil entity that wants to breed and have evil gremlins and thinks that they can control them.
Okay, Jurassic World.
You fucking read my mind. I was like Vincent D'Onofrio being like, we
can weaponize them.
Go in This is how we get Hamas, all right? We train them to go in and take out the terrorists. Right.
I don't know why that got me, but the fact that Vincent D'Onofrio's coming in to train the Gremlins.
Hey, strike.
Strike. Knock it off. That's funny.
Yeah, there's okay, there it is. So over the last 20 years, the government has been harvesting 4 gremlins that we thought were destroyed in the Battle of the Skyscraper, because I want to say it was New York, but yeah. 30 years later, yeah, there it is. 30 years removed, we find out
that company's coming in.
The company is actually found a survivor, has created 4 mutant ones. They've been trying to control them for government control.
There it is.
And it's up to,
and they're selling them on the black market. They've inbreeded and they've made special ones.
There it is.
Okay, so this fall, get ready for Gremlins Fallen Kingdom.
And I know, and you know what we'll do? You know what's going to happen? The OG Stripe is going to be standing there on an island that's on fire.
Oh, and you see it in smoke.
You see it goes, and it's like, oh, but Stripe became good because he saved
He's so
Gizmo.
Good. He's so good. Okay, so it's funny because I thought to myself of like, what would a part 3 I would want to see? And it would be the OGs having a family, but also Gizmo still alive because Gizmo doesn't have to age. It's basically fucking Grogu, where it's like it can live for fucking ever and go down the line.
Likewise, live for 500 years.
Exactly. So I would like a team of gremlins to come into play and turn Gizmo into a gremlin halfway through the movie. And the whole story is to get him to turn back to a Mogwai. Because all they know is to kill gremlins. But they have to figure out how. And maybe that kid comes into play of being like, what can we do to turn him back? And it could be like Gizmo's got kids and it's turning them back and whatever. But I think that's a fun family. Let's get them back into the basics, baby.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
But what if we keep Gizmo good? All right. But Gizmo has had offspring. Okay. So there's a mama Gizmo. And there's offspring. Right. There's, let's say, one daughter and one son, and the son wants to kind of become evil and thinks that they need to take over the world and all of that they need to be gremlins, not Mogwai. And Gizmo and him, they meet at one point on like a bridge or something like that, and they're having this conversation, and his son just stabs him and kills him, and that
now it's just the Force Awakens.
Damn it!
Okay, coming next year, Gremlins, the Mogwai Awakens. Okay,
and then what's going to be great is that we'll bring back his Gizmo ghost in the third, and then eventually his son will realize, oh no, I shouldn't be.
Oh, I would actually love if Gizmo's gruffy voice, where he's just, bye, Billy.
Billy. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's Core Memory Unlocked Horror Gremlins. Do you still love it as much as you did before? He's dying with Harrison Ford. We can't get Howie Mandel, but we got Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford as Gizmo is everything for me. Gizmo, we have to stop the gremlins. I don't care.
Billy, we're home.
We're home. That's not how the gremlins work.
Gizmo, I heard long ago that you spawned off gremlins in our little town. Is it true?
Yeah, it's all true.
my son died in a war. And then me and my wife. Oh, wait, that's too new. Never mind. Never mind. All right,
If
so
I could
that's.
go back in time, I would tell my owner not to go.
Now you're
Well,
just
now he's
Christian
Batman.
Bale.
Now he's
Yeah, now
Batman.
you're Christian Bale. The gremlin would never give it to a normal citizen. So, does the movie still...
You thought that the people would turn against themselves, but the people of our city are
You
stronger
just-
than you think.
needed a push. It's not about the money. So, where do you sit with this?
Oh, I love this film. I still love it.
Okay, still love it. Still
I
loving it.
still love it, but I'm with you in the sense of, I probably watch it every year, but it's if I don't get to it on a Christmas season, I'm not going to be like,
It
oh,
doesn't.
'cause-
Didn't.
I mean, I'm with
Yeah.
you. There's some other. It's still a classic. Don't get me wrong. At
It's
any time
classic.
on, I will
It's
stop.
It is a movie that I still love and would watch, and perfectly for this season. I don't know if I come back to it. I know if Kid Hilton was like, "Hey, can we watch this?" Because I'm into horror, and I'm like, "Perfect gateway, sure, why not? What the hell are we doing?" But I'm not going to probably seek this out until maybe a third one does come to existence, where I'm like, "Oh, I'll rewatch." But it's still great. It's yet another reason why 80s horror is the fucking jam, and why we do this show, Core Memory Unlocked Horror. All right, so that's this episode. Make sure to come back in January with an all new one. I got to look at the list Wonderful gave me so we can figure
You
this
got
out.
to look at your list too, because
I
straight off.
What list? What
Oh,
list?
all right. Well, then, all right, let's look at my list then. It's Wonderful's Core Memory Unlocked.
No, shit. So, anyways,
It's all the movies I gave you.
all right. So we'll see you back in January. Thanks for being a Patreon member. And if you listen or see this after this was out for some months on Patreon, make sure you check us out and join in. You'll probably get 6 more of these because these are great. So we say something on that show. I'll just say, stay classy, my friends.